French men and women were forced to work in German factories or volunteered to do so. Most workers worked in agriculture like fishing or foresting. Some other people worked in industries. Some people also traded food to Germany. Others sold food for coupons. For agriculture production, they had vegetable gardens and the availability of milk products. Large machines were used for agriculture production. Agriculture output began to increase as a result of the arrival of new crops. Although agriculture prices, particularly grain and livestock, increased during autumn of 1939, most farmers were nervous and waited major price increases for farm products. U.S. military had great increases agriculture prices.
Around 800,000 wives were departed from their husbands. The Vichy regime promoted a highly traditional role of women. Some women would have to walk barefoot and they didn't have great clothes. After the war, France gave women the right to vote, legal rights, and political rights. Food shortages had a big impact on women in World War II because Germany took 20% of their food, and if they couldn't eat, they would die. Women also had to work in dangerous factories, which could also cause them to die. People could not be selfish, and they had to do what they were told in order to get food and what they wanted. The war had a huge influence on French children. French children couldn't obtain a lot of food during World War II. This caused them to be very thin or they could die.
Food shortages were a vast problem. People would stand in long lines to get food for their families. The Germans seized around 20% of the French food production, which caused severe disruption to French people. Farmers diverted meat to the black market, which means that there was much less for the open market. Religion was also affected by World War II. Most Jews were rounded by the Vichy police and was handed over to the Germans, who then sent them to death camps. French Vichy government and the French police participated in the roundup of Jews. Although most deported Jews died, the survival rate of the Jewish population in France was up to 75%, which was one of the highest survival rates in Europe.